Alternate Roots is a member service organization that is based in Atlanta, Georgia, that has been around since 1976. It serves artists that are doing work around the intersection of arts and activism. It was founded in 1976 at the Highlander Center for Research and Education. It was originally founded by artists coming out of the civil rights movement, anti-war movement, that wanted to do work and find ways to use their art to affect social change in their communities. It was originally started by theater organizations and has since grown to be encompassing of all artists in any disciplines. The organization supports artists by regranting. We have a network, a long artist retreat, a week-long artist retreat in the mountains of North Carolina every August, where artists come together to learn together, to play together, to have long nights of partying together, and to discuss their opportunities to collaborate as artists working in communities in the South around issues of social justice. Alternate Roots was founded at the Highlander Center for Research and Education. And this is a place that is in New Market, Tennessee, and actually our founder passed away this Tuesday after a long bout with cancer, but she was an amazing writer. Her name was Jo Carson. Highlander Center was founded in 1932, and it was a folk life school in which they taught a lot picture of West Baltimore, Franklin Street to be exact. And where this green space is, it's 52 acres of green space. This used to be houses. But around the same time that Alternate Roots was founded, this place was basically demolished. 4,000 homes were demolished, 19,000 residents were displaced, and in its place they stuck this highway that divided the communities, created an artificial division between north and south, cut 30 feet deep so you can't even see that was going to make things better in the community. It turned out to be a highway that only spans 1.39 miles, and it's called the Highway to Nowhere. Local residents refer to it as the ditch. So anyway, we began working in this community. How many of you have seen The Wire? All right, so you know, like the way that they paint West Baltimore, it's the open air drug markets, it's you know, all the crime and low statistics in education and graduation rates, high crime statistics, low property values, all that stuff. So this where the highway currently exists. So that's important for later on down the line, but we'll talk about that in a minute. So this is what the highway looks from an aerial view. All these barriers, communities very much divided where they used to be whole. This was actually also one of the most culturally diverse communities in Baltimore before it was decimated. So we began working with a guy in this community named Ashley Milburn, who works with a group called Culture Works. Culture Works is an organization that was founded basically because he wanted to take this highway and put murals on the 30 feet of wall for the whole mile, 1.4 mile stretch to create one of the largest murals in North America. That hasn't happened yet, but we're still working on it. Baltimore is called the city of neighborhoods, and it's a reason why every 3 blocks that you walk across, you're in an entirely new neighborhood. And each one of these neighborhoods have their own infrastructure in terms of who does what, who makes the decisions, and all that good stuff. So we, in terms of creating this project, which we call Roots Fest 2011, we ran into a lot of issues around who gets a chance to really speak for community. especially when you have, I think there's somewhere around 100 different community organizations in West Baltimore alone, and we wanted to find out what was going on. So we created this project called Roots Fest 2011. So it was a festival. Actually, it wasn't a festival. It was actually a community organizing project disguised as a festival. But what happened is we got a lot of press out of it, and Tavis Smiley on his radio show interviewed me, and he asked me, he said, well, with all these problems you know, in this community, what good can a festival do? So we said, well, a festival can actually create and begin a conversation about the calamity that happened in this community and begin the process of emotional reparation and physical reclamation of this space. I've been going back and forth to this place for about 3 years, and over that 52 acres of green space, I had never seen a child play, I had never seen a dog walk, I had never seen a piece of trash. It was a veritable graveyard, and it was because people had had something happen to them on this space that they had not recovered from yet. So as we were preparing for this big event, this is what a guy from the, actually a chief from the Baltimore City Police Department said. It's not a matter of if something's going to happen during your festival, it's when. This was also said by another leader in the community. You're not going to get as much support of this event because you're working in a part of the community that no one cares about. These are people that live there. This is not me as an outsider, it's people who live there. So Roots Fest brought together over 300 artists for a 3-day event called the National Learning Exchange. And we call it that because it's an opportunity for people to talk on a peer-to-peer basis. There's no experts. Everybody, the needs of this particular community or any community can be found in that community. You don't have to go outside of your community to find the things that you need to make your community whole. So what we were able to do is bring together small community organizations, healthcare institutions, middle, elementary, and high school students, 3 universities, financial institutions, individual artists, arts organizations, collective city council members, state senators, and a host of other people to do this 5-day event. The goal of the National Learning Exchange was to have conversations and dialogue to look at the issues of marginalized communities across the country through the lens of what was going on in this community. Roots Fest brought together over 11,000 participants for 5 days of community performances, discussions, talkbacks, community vending. New projects were created as part of that, and it was just an amazing event over a course of 5 days. And what we learned from that is that there's a lot of things that we have to do in order to improve the communities, but what this did was it gave people an object to organize around. Now those coalitions are constantly meeting. So this is a 5-year initiative. We had the festival in the middle of the initiative so that people had something to look to. Now they have something to organize around. And that's it.